Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learn English by Listening. My name is Avery.
And I'm Zia. We're so glad you could join us today. In this episode, we're going to cover a very important and practical topic: at the doctor or pharmacy.
That's right. Getting sick is never fun, but it can be especially stressful if you're in a foreign country and need to explain your symptoms in English.
Exactly. So by the end of this episode, you'll know how to describe common symptoms, what to say at a doctor's appointment, and how to ask a pharmacist for medicine.
We'll also cover how to understand basic medical advice and use polite language when asking for help.
And before we start, if you find our podcast helpful, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. It helps us a lot.
It really does. Okay, let's jump in. Our first section is describing symptoms.
So let's imagine a scenario. You wake up one morning and you just don't feel right. How do you explain what's wrong? Let's start with a very common problem: a sore throat.
Right, it hurts to swallow. The phrase you would use is, I have a sore throat. The word sore means painful or aching.
A sore throat. What if your head hurts?
That's another easy one. You would say, I have a headache. Head plus ache. Ache is another word for a continuous dull pain.
Okay, so I have a sore throat and I have a headache. What about feeling hot?
If you feel hot and your body temperature is higher than normal, you can say, I have a fever or I have a temperature.
Right. A few other useful phrases are, I have a cough, for when you are coughing a lot.
And I have a runny nose, which is when your nose is producing, well, you know.
Yes, so let's quickly review the key phrases for describing symptoms. I have a sore throat.
I have a headache.
I have a fever.
And I have a cough or a runny nose. Now you know how to explain the problem. The next step is to see a doctor. This brings us to our second section, at the doctor.
Let's role-play this situation. It's a great way to practice. Avery, you be the doctor, and I'll be the patient, Mark.
Good morning. Come in and have a seat. What seems to be the problem?
Good morning, doctor. I'm not feeling well.
I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell me your symptoms?
Yes, I have a sore throat and a bad headache.
Okay, and how long have you had these symptoms?
For about 2 days now.
All right, let me take a look at your throat. Could you open your mouth and say, ah? Yes, it's very red. It looks like you have a common cold. I'm going to write you a prescription for some medicine to help with the pain.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
And scene. That was a great example of a typical doctor's visit. Let's break down some of the key phrases. I started by asking, what seems to be the problem?
Right. It's a polite and common way for a doctor to ask what's wrong. Then I, as the patient, used the phrases we just learned. I have a sore throat and a bad headache.
Exactly. Notice I also asked, how long have you had these symptoms? This is an important question to help the doctor understand your condition.
And finally, the doctor gave a diagnosis, what he thinks the illness is, which was a common cold, and a solution, a prescription. A prescription is the official note from the doctor that you take to the pharmacy to get medicine.
Perfect. We hope you're all following along and finding this helpful. That's a great point about prescriptions, Zaya. But what if your illness isn't that serious? What if you don't need to see a doctor and just need something for a simple headache or a cold?
This is a great time for a quick reminder. If you are enjoying this episode, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, Learn English by Listening, and share it with someone you know. Your support means the world to us.
Okay, so Mark has his prescription. Where does he go next, Zia?
He goes to the pharmacy, of course. This is our third section, at the pharmacy.
Right. A pharmacy is the shop where you buy medicine. In British English, you might also hear it called a chemist's.
That's a good point. Let's do another role play. This time, I'll be the pharmacist, and Avery, you can be our patient, Mark.
You got it. Let's go.
Hello. How can I help you today?
Hi, I'd like to fill this prescription, please.
Of course. Let me take a look. Okay, this will be ready in about 10 minutes.
Thank you.
Here you are. That will be $15.
Okay, here you go. Thank you. Could you tell me how I should take this?
That was a perfect short interaction. Let's highlight the polite language. Avery, you said, "I'd like to fill this prescription, please."
Using I'd like to instead of I want to is much more polite. And always remember to add please.
Totally. And then you ask for instructions by saying, "Could you tell me how I should take this?" Using could you is a very polite way to ask a question.
This leads us perfectly into our final section, understanding instructions.
Sure. I'll give the instructions.
Okay, so I just asked, could you tell me how I should take this?
Certainly. You need to take 1 tablet 3 times a day, after meals. Do not take it on an empty stomach.
Okay, so 1 tablet in the morning after breakfast, 1 after lunch, and 1 after dinner?
That's exactly right. Also, be sure to drink plenty of water and get lots of rest.
Great. Thank you very much for your help.
You're welcome. I hope you feel better soon.
That was very clear. The key instruction was take 1 tablet 3 times a day after meals. It's very important to understand the number, the frequency, and any conditions like after meals.
Yes, and notice how Avery confirmed the instructions by repeating them back in his own words. That is a fantastic strategy to make sure you understand correctly.
Definitely. And the general advice to drink plenty of water and get lots of rest is something you'll hear often from doctors and pharmacists.
And that brings us to the end of our lesson. Let's do a very quick recap of what we learned today.
First, we covered describing symptoms with key phrases like, I have a sore throat and I have a headache.
Then we role-played being at the doctor, learning how to answer questions about our health.
Next, we went at the pharmacy, where we practiced using polite language to ask for medicine.
And finally, we focused on understanding instructions to make sure we know how to take our medicine safely.
We really hope this episode helps you feel more prepared and confident for these situations.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Learn English by Listening. We'll be back soon with another episode.
Until then, keep practicing. Bye for now.